Hi there, and welcome to the Neckpour. My name's Lewis, and welcome to the Whisky Review channel, where I give you my thoughts and opinions on a particular bottle of whisky, from the Neckpour all the way down to the dregs. You join me here today for the Neckpour of another bottle of whisky. In this case, it's a Bruichladdich 100% Islay Barley 2014 release, which I'm super excited to get into. Before we get any further into the video, I would like to say, please hit the like button below if you're enjoying the content. Drop me a comment if you've got any thoughts on this particular bottle of whisky, anything from Bruichladdich, or you've got any recommendations for things you'd like to see me review. And please hit the subscription and the notification bell if you'd like to be notified next time I post. But yeah, this is a bottle that I've long since coveted, one of their Islay Barley releases. And this one came up on auction at a really good price. I paid less than 40 quid with fees through the door for this. It's just turned up and I can't wait to get stuck into it. Something I'm super interested in. As you guys probably know from various videos I posted up here, I'm quite the Bruichladdich fanboy. I like what they're about. I like what they release. And I think they make really, really good stuff. And yeah, I've never tried one of their 100% Islas. I've tried organics, I've tried age stated, I've tried finishes, but an actual Bruichladdich Unpeated Islay Barley or beer barley, not tried either of them. So yeah, when I saw this going at the price it was going for, I couldn't help myself but have a little bid on it. And yeah, as soon as it's turned up, it literally got to the house yesterday afternoon. I'm recording it today, so couldn't wait to get stuck into this. So this is 2014 Islay Barley, aged for 8 years, and it's obviously being a Bruichladdich, it's 50% non-chill filtered, no added colour. And this one's been aged in, I'm sure it says somewhere on here, ex-bourbon and ex-wine casks. Gives a bit of information about how they were the kind of driving force around barley being grown on Islay again, as part of their kind of commitment to the Islay community in general, which I think is super cool. And quite a few of the Islay distilleries are now doing 100% Islay releases. It tells us where the various farms it's been grown on, the harvest date, the average temperature for when the barley was grown, the average rainfall. Being Scotland, I'm assuming that's a day, the 2.2 mils, and how much sun it had over that summer on average, which is just the kind of nerdy stats that we all love. And yeah, I think it's really interesting to see and really cool to make us aware of. And yeah, this is all the only thing it doesn't give us, so I'm assuming it probably wasn't on Islay, is where it was malted, this barley. So Bruichladdich, I'm pretty sure, don't have their own floor maltings. I think they do now, but I don't think they did back in 2014, so I'm assuming they didn't malt the barley. I don't know whether it would have been done at Port Ellen, where there's the big barley maltings and smoking. But yeah, whether it was done on Islay or off Islay, not quite sure. Although not 100% certain how that would change things. They give us all the rest of the stats. They just don't give us that. But yeah, no, this is a bottle I've been really interested in, and reading stuff about these online, various releases. It talks of how it's Islay in a glass, and so I think that's really interesting to get into, and to taste Islay in a glass that's 100% unpeated as well. But before I waffle on any further, let's get this open, let's have a smell, let's have a taste, and let's see what we think. And as much as I do love the Bruichladdich Blue, I do prefer clear glass, or at least partially see-through glass, just so you can see how much whiskey's left. So I think these are really well packaged. I think they're really well done. And again, the whole being a B Corp, not using boxes, all that kind of stuff, I think is pretty cool as well. But let's have a listen to the cork. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's pour ourselves a little dram and see what we think. I've got a little jug of water here. I need to water it down because it is 50%. It could be pretty bolshy. And yeah, see if that brings anything else out. That's unbelievably complex on the nose. There's a huge amount to unpack there. The sweetness, the savoury. There's roundness. It smells super creamy. Almost verging on cream cheese. Almost there's a slight acidity to there, which you could say could be a bit cheesy. Loads of flowers. And as you would expect, a huge amount of barley and grain kind of cereal notes on this. 50% Bruichladdich spirit, as you'd expect. It's oily, sticking to the glass really nicely. And then sliding down really, really slowly, which I can just tell the minute it touches my palate, it's just going to coat everything beautifully. And wow, that legitimately is an unbelievable nose of a whiskey. I'm blown away by how well that smells. And yeah, that is absolutely lovely. Let's get a little taste, see what we think. The first note picking up is lemon on that. Really lemony. And then you get the kind of cereals and crackers. And then you're left with a lovely, sweet, floral note to that. And now I've tasted the lemon on my tongue. I can smell it really strongly. And it's kind of a rind and a juice. You know, it's not one or the other. It's almost the smell of cutting through a lemon. It's not so much the taste of a lemon. It's more all those lemon oils as you cut through the skin, and then that lovely citrus juice as you cut through the flesh and getting on the nose. Yeah, cereals, candied lemon, flowers, a little bit of kind of sweetness, but perhaps more of a maple syrup kind of thing, almost maybe demerara sugar actually, and then finishes with just huge creaminess again, but that slight lemon acidity kind of takes it towards cream cheese, but like the cream cheese frosting of a cake almost. There's a little bit of lemon on the finish. There's a little bit of salt on the finish, but only a very faint amount. And again, like all of those notes on the finish, like the salt, like the cream cheese frosting, like it's all been put on an oat cake, a savoury biscuit, something like that, because there's that crisp biscuit note from the grain running all the way through it. But that is staggeringly good. That is really, really exceptional whiskey. And again, I'd like to think that that bit of the whiskey and that bit of the whiskey is all going to be better than this bit of the whiskey. So the thought that this is going to actually improve is really exciting to me. I'm actually going to pour myself a tiny bit more just so I can put a little bit of water in there and just see what the situation changes. Just I didn't have much in my glass, but I think that's quite kind of telling that I couldn't stop sipping on it. And again, because it's so complex, there was so much to unpack for you guys that I couldn't keep myself out. But yeah, following on from the video that I'll put up there and the Neckpour I did of the committee Ardbeg release, the 8-year-old for discussion. Amusingly, this is another 8-year-old that I've picked up on auction. I said during that video I wasn't going to post where I'd picked the whiskey up. Not because I wanted to keep it from you guys, keep my honey hole safe where I knew I was going to get bargains, but because I wasn't 100% sure, not the legitimacy per se, but the ethics and whether they were the kind of right company that I should be using as an auction site. I have done a bit more research in the meantime. They do seem fairly kind of reputable and about as good as the others. And so this bottle also came from the same place, and that was from Whisky Auctioneer, which is where I've signed up to and had a couple of bits from. I thought I'd share that with you guys so you guys know, and if you want to get on there, feel free to. Fair warning, you do have to pay to actually look at what's in the auction and bid on things, because I think it's just their way of keeping bots and things like that away from it, that you have to pay. And again, if you want to make more than a certain number of bids, you have to actually verify with copies of ID and bills and things like that. But I do think they're a reputable company, so I had no problem providing those myself. But just fair warning for you guys. So after adding that water and giving it a little bit of time, the way it's behaving in the glass has changed somewhat. It's a lot quicker sliding down the edges. And on the nose, that's got a lot sweeter. That lemon's almost changed to a kind of candied peel. Still loads of barley there. Still that lemon, still that creaminess. A lot more tannin is actually coming through to me with a bit of water in that. And I don't know whether that's from the bourbon barrels, if they're pretty fresh and first fill bourbon barrels. They could be getting it from there, or it could be from the wine barrels that they're using. Again, if it's red wine barrels, they'd have a fair bit of that kind of tannic notes in them, which kind of actually balances out the sweetness really nicely. It's still sweet, it's still creamy, but it's got a lot more kind of tannic body to it with that bit of water added. Not sure I'm getting any kind of new notes to this. Little bit more salty, little bit less creamy actually. The tannin kind of dries out the creaminess somewhat. But overall, for less than 40 quid to my door, this is a staggeringly good whiskey. It's 8 years old. It's made properly. It's made with barley from the area. It is of the place that it is from. And it's just really well made and well thought out whiskey that is bringing, you know, jobs and farming and those things back to a community. And I don't really know what more you can ask for than that. But yeah, I do love Bruichladdich. Those Bruichladdich flavours always really gel with me. That kind of saltiness, that heavy grain forward, that little bit of citrus, all those things really work for me. And this does. And again, if I see other Islay barley releases, if I see other beer barley releases, if I see other organic releases and things like this from Bruichladdich, and they're at a good price like this, I'm going to jump all over them, because everything they put out is pretty well made. They don't seem to be putting things out just to kind of churn out money. It all seems to be put out because it's good whiskey, and that's all we can ask for. And although they're not, you know, the edgy independent company they once maybe used to be, I still think they're great distillers and they're great maturers. They do really interesting things with their casks, and what they put out is exemplary in terms of its quality. So yeah, I'm certainly going to be all over them carrying forward from this, because that is lovely. But before I carry on fawning over Bruichladdich and my love affair for them, I think we'll leave this video here for today. I would like to say, if you've enjoyed the video, please do give me a like below. If you've got any thoughts on either this bottling, any of the kind of Islay beer, barley releases, anything like that they put out, or there's anything you'd like to see me review, please drop me a comment below. I'll be sure to get back to you on it. And do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to be informed next time I post. But other than that, until the next time you see me here, I'd like to say thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. And please do join me again for the next episode of the Neckpour, the Dregs, or just my thoughts and opinions on whiskey. But until then, I'd like to say cheers, Salancha, and I'll see you again.